All right, hi everybody. This is Sam. Um, I am a aspiring master and a just complete lover of chess. So here I'll be documenting my journey towards becoming a national master of chess, rated 2200 USCF. Currently, I'm rated about 1800 USCF. I've been as high as 1900 USCF, and it was my goal to reach master performer in my 30s. I'm now 30, so that's not going to happen. But I want it to. It's a lifelong goal of mine, and I have a really good plan of how to become a master. I think I'm more than capable of doing it, and I want to teach others how to do it as well if I can succeed. So this will be documenting my journey from 1800 to 2200, and mostly I'll be showing you guys my training games as well as analysis of my tournament games. And really, what I think all that is required essentially to become a master, from my experience, because I've beat plenty of masters, I've drawn plenty of masters, I've gotten destroyed by them the large majority of the time, but you kind of get a sense of their abilities, and really all it comes down to become a chess master is not making mistakes. And I'm going to prove that to you guys. Um, so here we go. So in this series, it's going to be a climbing the rating ladder series where I'm going to start from a low level of chess player and progress on and just show you how you're going to win these games as you know you face people with better strategies and better tactics and better openings and middle games and end games and whatnot. I don't expect that online I'll lose to players until I get to about the 2000 rating range. But that being said, chess is a crazy game, and you can lose in one move to anybody if you're not careful. So let's go start a game here. I'm going to play a 15-10 game. Um, and we'll see what we get going here. I've got my beer, bong, and water here, so I'm all set. So basically, I'll be trying to explain my moves to you guys as well as I can while, still taking a reasonable amount of time. So I'm going to bring my knight out to f3. I like that because it's a very flexible move. He plays d5. So I'm going to play d4. I really love the Jobava London opening. I love the London opening, so I could play either one. In this case, it's more so looking like I'll play the London opening system. But in this series, I want to show you guys how I'm going to win games purely by not making mistakes. I don't. So he brings his knight out. Okay, makes logical sense. He develops his knight. Um, there's no threats with his move that I can tell, so I'm going to advance my plan. I'm going to bring my bishop out to an active square. This is the London system. Okay, so he attacks me with c5. Completely logical. In this case, I think I'll just reinforce with c3. And in this series, I'm actually not going to be using any arrows because in over-the-board chess, you don't get to use arrows and you don't get to analyze. All right, so he's pressuring my center, and he's pressuring my queen side now with queen b6 attacking b2. So I want to defend in some way. Queen c2 could get hit with bishop f5, which is a bit of a bummer. So I'm going to go with queen c1 to defend my pawn. I believe this is all theory. So basically, I was able to get to 1900 USCF, and I felt like I could get higher, but I was obstructed with blunders, right? Like I'd be winning, and then I'd blunder checkmate. I'd be winning, and then I'd blunder a piece. And I felt like, okay, so if I don't blunder, I can become a master, as my thought process. So what I'm going to show you guys is, you really have to do nothing crazy to win games. You just have to not blunder. Just play well. Just play solidly. Play good moves. Play flexible moves. Play the best moves if you can, and avoid mistakes at all costs. And you'll be shocked at how many people you'd be. For example, they say, every grandmaster tells you just to play tactics to become good, but I've never played tactics puzzles. I find them boring. I don't find them realistic. So all I do is I study master games and see how they play, and I try to copy their strategies and their strategic ideas. And Bobby Fischer said, tactics flow from a superior position. So all I do is get superior positions, and then I'm able to pull the tactics off without having to try to search for them, or try to engineer them, or try to yank them out of thin air because they're there, because I made them there without even trying, by getting a superior position. So he brings his bishop out. He's patrolling the diagonal, and he's also making way for his rook to come opposite my queen on c8. So I'm going to play this move that I want to play anyway. This gives my queen some cover, and it develops my knight. Knight c3. So basically my strategy is, if he's got a thread, or if whoever has a thread, I'll reply to it. If they don't have a thread, then I'll advance my own agenda. So a6, interesting move. So he's stopping knight b5, which certainly makes a lot of sense, but there's no threat with that comes with that move. Hold up, let's see if he plays knight. If he played knight b4, would I be screwed right there, because he's kind of threatening knight c2. It's interesting that I didn't quite notice that until now. There may have been some ways I could have got out of losing the exchange or whatever, but that wouldn't have been pleasant whatsoever. So I think I'm gonna stop any knight jumps with a3. You always gotta watch out for your opponent's threats, and I guess I missed somehow. The knight to b4 was a threat, threatening knight c2, forking my king and my rook. Alright, so he goes there. So now his pawn on e6 is reinforcing d5. It's reinforcing his bishop on f5, and it's allowing his f8 bishop to come out. Now the good thing is, with a3 I stop his bishop and his knight from coming to b4, so that's really nice. So his bishop is not really threatening much. So in this case, I'm going to bring my bishop out toward the castle. And this is why it's important after your games to analyze them, because I might have messed up slightly in the opening without quite realizing it until after the fact. And he didn't punish it, but I realized he probably could have punished my opening here. I'm wondering what went wrong, but you don't want to focus on the past, you want to focus on the present. So keep it in mind to analyze after, but right now focus on the game. I'm still in an equal position. Actually, kind of like my position. So he goes here. I thought he might go here. He's going after my bishop. He wants my bishop pair. He's threatening knight takes f4, which would obliterate my pawn structure and get the bishop pair. I don't want that whatsoever. Therefore, I think I'll go here to try to make him chase me. but small eyes on the clock, which is nice. Because you never want to get into time trouble. Time trouble is a way to blow any position. They say that being in time trouble is it costs you 3 points in material potentially, right? So it's pretty devastating. So my philosophy is not to get below like a couple minutes. You really don't want to get into too low of time, otherwise your good position may not matter, or your bad position may be impossible to defend. So this is nice. So he went after my bishop, but when my bishop tries to, you know, run away a little bit, you know, he just challenges me because he wants to develop and castle his king. But now I can actually trade my bad bishop because it corresponds to the dark square fixed structure that I have, pawn structure. So I can get rid of my bad bishop, get rid of his good bishop, and I kind of bring his knight back to a less productive square. So it's good for me. I have a good bishop and more active pieces. This is working out for me. I think now I'm actually going to yoink my knight into this nice productive square. And now I'm actually threatening several things. I'm threatening to win his knight outright on h5. And I'm threatening to play g5, which would fork his 2 minor pieces. And there's not really a way that he can attack my king. That's why I'm not worried about castling at this exact moment. I'll probably castle in the next move or two, but it's not. He has no threats that I can see. The adjective is playing well, and generally he hasn't played any crazy blunders as long as he sees that I'm attacking him. Oh God! Oh no! So he counterattacks my knight, but he doesn't see that I can take his knight with check. So I don't think, I cringe at that for his sake, because I don't think that's good for him. So because I can play knight take, or bishop takes a h5, g6, and then okay, so I'm up a piece, but I have 2 pieces that are attacked, right? But then I can take on g6 with either the knight or the bishop, and then I should be up a pawn. So this is awesome for me. I think I'm gonna be up a pawn here. Black resigned. Wow. That's an early resignation. Jeez, I think he thought he was losing a piece there instead of a pawn. But okay. Good game well played. GG. Okay. Interesting. Let's look at that. I think that was a hugely early resignation. I'm kind of disappointed slightly, because I think if he played g6, I'm a lot better, but the game goes on. He can fight on for 30 more moves, down a pawn with a worse position. But he resigned. And I gained 300 points. That's nice. Let's look at this game right quick. I like to look at it with an engine, but I like to look at it naturally first to get my own thoughts. So I played the ready opening, bringing my knight out. We get into a London system, and it goes here. So this maybe is where I possibly played slightly wrong, because I don't see this move a lot. Which it's a completely logical move. It's a good move. It's theory, so I should know what to do against this. But it's possible I didn't respond fully well. I don't think I responded incorrectly. So I defend the pawn. He brings his knight out. I defend the pawn again. He comes here. I defend my pawn. He takes. I take. Okay, so he brings his bishop out. So now he's pressuring C. Now he's pressuring c2, so it's possible here that I should play a3 because he's pressuring c2, and then he's threatening to attack c2 with knight b3. So I think bringing my knight out was possibly premature. I was well-intentioned with trying to protect my queen, but I was forgetting to protect my king. See, my king and the rook are attacked. by his knight bishop, potentially, if he sees that. So if he plays knight b4, it's possible I have to play like king d2, just suck it up and play king d2, and I have a really bad position, right? I'm not sure. Oh no, it's no, that's wrong. That's wrong. Oh, that's why I love checks so much. So if he plays knight b4, I can actually play bishop to b5 and then castle. Oof. That's great. Okay, so that's maybe why he didn't go for it. He saw what I didn't see. And I would have seen that, I think. I'm sure I would have seen that, because when you get into positions, there, you know, you have more clarity because you physically see them. It's harder to see positions in your head, but you should really get good at seeing positions in your head. Okay, so I'm playing fine. Playing fine. He goes there, which I think is unnecessary, but understandable. He wants to stop my knight from jumping into b5. So I go here. So actually, I think so if I didn't blunder there, it actually turns out that probably this game was really well played. So he goes here, getting his bishop out. I bring my bishop out. He goes after my bishop. I go here. I think he shouldn't have tried to trade bishops. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's like, why did you put your knight on this side of the board? Just to give me your good bishop and have an awkward knight, and then you lose the knight, right, a couple moves later. So it's like, if you're gonna do that, right, be consistent. So, you know, I would play oh, I guess I gotta analyze an analysis board here. I would play here. So let me turn off the let's see. I like to have the evaluation bar on, but I don't like to have I don't like to have the engine lines, because I want to, you know, evaluate for myself. So that being said, because it really, you know, it kind of ruins your perception. It ruins your perception of the game. It's like being told by God what everything is, and like, oh yeah, I knew that for sure. No, you didn't know. All right. Well, I can't figure out how to. Only show the lines at the second. So my point being that, you know, if he plays f6, it's more consistent. Maybe it's not good, but, you know, better to have a bad plan than no plan at all. So he brings his bishop out. He takes. I think this is good for me, because now his knight is less active, and I have a good bishop, and now my knight can jump into this active square, and I'm just outright attacking his knight. And he goes here and attacks my knight, but then I take his knight with check. He resigns. I'm assuming this position is like -1, possibly no, +1, possibly +2. But I would never resign here. Maybe he was disgusted with himself, but I would still play on. I mean, you got to play on. Never resign. That being said, let's see what the evaluation is here. Where are you at, evaluation? Computer analysis. Request computer analysis. Oh, I love Lichess's analysis. I love their tail of the tape, says Chess Network, aka Jerry would say. Let's see what we get here. Stockfish's analysis. I hope I get a good bill of health with my graph. But I'm assuming that black is worse there, which he shouldn't resign. But it's understandable. And I'm glad that I never blundered. That's awesome. Like, you know, sometimes you think you do, but you got to calculate. So that was a good game. Good game, good game. I played a 94% accuracy. Solid, solid, solid. Okay, so there we go. See, no mistakes. I didn't play anything crazy. I just played opening principles, tried to play a little bit active, and took advantage of his mistakes and won. So, good stuff. I'll be back again quite soon for another video, and I hope you guys enjoyed and got something out of it, and I'll see you next time. Peace.